Hello and welcome to the Dark Mount video review for Transformers Generations Rattrap. Now, Rattrap is obviously a character from Beast Wars. However, he's also shown up in the recent IDW comics. He's a little bit different than his Beast Wars incarnation, but he's still kind of the same character when you really think about it. He's just got a little bit more of a, I guess, willingness to work with the bad guys. Although bad guys in, after war Cybertron is kind of a questionable term, which is the whole point of the comic. So I see what they're doing with him. They really are trying to make the whole Autobots Decepticons good-bad dichotomy a little bit more ambiguous in the comics. So he kind of got a little bit more ambiguous along with it. The toy is a really awesome representation of a rat, obviously. He does have some robot kibble underneath him, and his gun mounts up there too, but since he's a rat, there's not that much they could have done about that. They did a pretty good job hiding it. Obviously, if you try to pose him up in kind of like a standing pose, like I had him in the opening thing, you are going to see some rat robo-belly kibble stuff going on. So if that bugs you a lot, that'll bug you a lot. But it doesn't bug me, other than having some kind of shell that goes here, or a lot of really extra parts that would have really increased the amount of kibble he has in his robot mode. There's not that much they could have done to cover this stuff up, and it is a Transformer, so I'm not that upset by it. He is not super painted, but he does have a good variance in colors. He's got the kind of pinkish plastic, and this tail is actually prehensile, kind of, so you can, it's got kind of like a wire or something in there, so you can bend it in all different directions, and you can use it for support when he's standing up like this. It's a pretty useful and non-obtrusive tail. He has head movement. I guess we're doing articulation now. These back legs don't really move because of the way they click in there. You can move down here, you can get a little bit of wiggle here, but if you try to move it too much, you're going to start popping stuff out. These front legs, however, do move. They move from there to there. You can move them a little farther because these do kind of pop off, and they're not super hard to get off. They don't fall off easily, but if you try to push them too much in either direction, they will pop off, which is better than breaking, in my opinion. That's just me. Get head movement. There's this second other little piece here that moves to cover up where the back of the robot head is, so you don't get ugly gapping, which is highly appreciated. A lot of other people have had issues where theirs is very loose and it moves all the time whenever they move the head. Some other people have had issues where it is stuck inside the head and nothing they do can get it out from this position. Mine is perfect, as I just have good luck with figures, I think. It moves easily, but it also is stable enough that it stays in place if I move the head. So mine works perfectly. I don't know if this is the rarity or if the broken ones are the rarity. I have no clue. I only own this one. You get mouth articulation from totally closed to right there. These are on swivels, and that's about it. So he is pretty posable for a rat, but there's not that much you can do. Basically got like basic rat pose and then some like different standing poses and stuff like that. For some size comparisons, first here he is with his original Beast Wars incarnation. So he's definitely bigger, but strangely enough, there's not a huge variance in size. It's like substantial, but it's not insane. Here he is with Scoop. To transform Rattrap, first thing you're going to want to do is just kind of move these arms out of your way. And then you can come in here and pull the gun out. And this is actually, like the original Rattrap, two different guns that combine. Well, his was two different parts that combine, and they weren't really guns in and of themselves, so this actually steps it up a notch. However, they are this weird kind of pearlescent, translucent plastic, and it's just kind of strange. So, I don't know what that's about. His little bomb is molded in the same plastic, which is strange, since usually those things are like gang molded, and he doesn't have any translucent plastic on his body, so who knows. And you want to come in here, and there are these two little tabs right there on the neck, and untabbing those allows you to kind of pull these back just to get those out of your way. Those tab in to these arms right here, so you want to pull those out, and take note of how those collapse up into there. So you want to fold those out now, like that. And then this is the part that's really tricky to get into when you're going into beast mode. And it's kind of hard to see what's going on here, but this is actually the knee, and this leg is attached to the knee. And this whole rat shank kind of clips into these little holes. So once you have the legs transformed the way that, I'll show you going backwards, but once you have the legs transformed that way, you basically need to maneuver this little peg in here into this part, and then like fold it closed so it's in rat leg mode. And it's a little tricky to do your first couple times, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. So you want to pull those out, like that. We'll free up the whole backpack again. And you need to disconnect the part in the center, which is a little difficult to do sometimes. That will allow you to fold this rat butt in. And you can straighten these legs out like that. And now what you are doing, these kind of slide back and forth. You want to make sure they're out all the way. And then fold this up, just to get it out of your way. Line this up with the gray portion, and then fold it in on this hinge like that. My camera not focusing well. Fold it in like that. And then what you want to do is fold the half of the leg around and fold this part down on top of it. And then you can fold the rat foot in to fill in the rest of the foot. And there you have one of his legs. So again, pull this out of your way, line that up, fold this, and flatten this. And fill that in. There you have his legs. Then you want to swing these two arms around, and you're trying to clear this whole assembly around these chest bits. Now again, I'm going to need to fold these up. You need to push them in as far as you can so that these plastic things will clear over this back. And you fold that up as much as you can. Straighten the legs out. Fold the rat head down. Fold this little dome thing down into the rat head. Collapse the arms back up. Straighten those out. And it's kind of up to you what you do with these legs. Like I said, if you push them too much farther past this point right here, they start to pop out on that joint. But you can do it. I just worry that if you keep it stored that way, it might make those kind of loose, since the way that those work is that the pressure of contracting these little things holds it in on this lip. So if you store it in a position that these are all compressed in for long periods of time, it might actually make them kind of stay that way so that they won't hold in as easily. I'm not sure. These holes themselves are still pretty tight though, so it's kind of up to you. I still don't like storing things in a position that I think might damage them eventually, so I've just been folding them all the way back like that, and then kind of putting these out. No, not like that. It's like jazz hands. Just kind of putting it like that. Maybe you don't like that. You can put them back if you want. But like I said, you can see as soon as you go past a certain point, it kind of clips it out. So I don't know if that's safe for the figure. Once you have all that done, basically just pose them up and balancing them up. And fix his shoulder again. And there you have Rattrap in his robot mode. You can take his guns either separately or together. I prefer together. And give him a weapon. Like I said, it being clear is kind of weird. I don't know why they went with a clear weapon. He also has a little secret compartment in his arm, which anyone familiar with Beast Wars will know contains little sticky bombs. And his hands are molded in such a way that they can hold both the peg, and you can also kind of slide this thing in there, and he holds it, which is awesome. So there he has his gun and his sticky bomb. For size comparison, here he is with two versions of Starscream. For those that watch the comics, or read the comics rather, you'll know why they're together. And they look pretty nice together. Obviously, again, for comic related reasons, I especially like these two guys together. And here he is next to the original Beast Wars Rattrap, who cannot stand to save his life. So I'm not even going to bother. For articulation, Rattrap's head is on a very, very, very limited swivel joint. So basically no movement at all. I mean, you can like force it, but yeah, I'm not doing that. Maybe mine is just really tight or something, because I don't really see anything obstructing it, but yeah, I'm not forcing it past that point. Sorry. He might have more rotation than that on your figure. Your mileage may vary. He has a kind of a weird, it's like a ball joint, but it also goes into this little slot right here. And he also has this transformation joint in the shoulder, if you care to use that. He has what looks like it's supposed to be ratcheted elbows, but mine do not ratchet at all. But they are tight. There's no looseness there. And no hand articulation. This backpack stuff does kind of get in the way a little bit of arm movement, but it also like folds back and stuff, so you don't get any waist. Nothing in the waist. Ball jointed hips, upper leg swivel, knees, decent backward and forward movement. You can make him chicken leg if you want. We got tail articulation, and that's about it. So I can just start off my thoughts section here by saying you should have this toy if you like Rattrap. If you're a Beast Wars fan or you're a Rattrap fan, buy this. Or honestly, I will assume that you have already bought this because I can't imagine why you would not have. It's a really great take on Rattrap. Yeah, his transformation into rat form is a little bit fiddly, but this guy was a flip changer, so they represent both ends of the spectrum. It doesn't bother me. It's not annoyingly difficult. It's just kind of more complicated. You have to move this in exactly the right way to fit it into this little thing, and once you do it once or twice, if you pay attention to what you're doing, you'll figure it out. It's not rocket science, it's a toy. I don't really have any complaints. I wish they painted his face a little bit more. He's got some like red eyes, which are hard to see when there's not light shining in his eyes, but he does kind of have light piping behind his red paint, which looks really cool. But his mouth and his jowls and like nothing else is really painted. But whatever. They did nice silver work here, here, here. I'm amazed this guy stood that long. I mean, they just did a really good job. I don't want to say there's not a lot to say, because there are a lot of really good things to say. I just don't necessarily even feel like I need to sit here and enumerate to you all of the reasons that this figure is amazing, because it just is. Like, just look at it. Just look at the figure. That's why it's amazing. It's perfect. This is probably the best Rattrap we're ever gonna get. I wish a little bit. I like the fact that it's a natural rat, and it kind of is an homage back to the Beast Wars, but I wish a little bit that it was more based on his current IDW kind of like Robo-Rat, just because it's cool looking. That would have been neat. This is still really neat, so it's kind of whatever for me. I think I would have preferred that a little bit more, so maybe if you want to count that as a criticism, that's more of like a creative critique. So, and this definitely does appeal more for like a Beast Wars purist type thing, although he's definitely going to be with my chugs. He's great. He's great. Maybe you're not going to like his backpack. He's a rat transformer who's also kind of basically a shell former, so he's going to have a rat backpack. He's a Beast Wars character, guys. They're all kibbly. It's just kind of how it goes. I don't like the see-through plastic. That's one thing. I don't hate it. It's not like clear. It definitely has some substance to it. It's more of like a pearly type kind of thing, but I don't know why it's clear. Like I said, he doesn't have, maybe it was gang molded with this, with his head. Actually, that's probably what it was. So for light piping, that doesn't even really work that well, which is weird because it looks like it should work as well as Waspinators, and Waspinators is amazing, so I don't know. I don't understand what makes light piping work or not work. I don't understand why Cyclonus's eyes like are burning pits of fire, and yet this giant, maybe because it's not clear, it's like pearlescent, so it's, who knows. I don't like the clear weapons, that's all I know. So I'm not like a painter or anything, but I've been looking to get into that, and this might be a great reason too, because First off, bombs and guns should not be the same color, and neither of them are clear. A clear bomb? What is that? Yeah, it's a glass bomb. Anyway, this guy's awesome. If you like anything about this figure, you should take the plunge. I don't think you'll be upset that you got him. Also, like, he's a deluxe, so it's not like it's gonna set you back very much. So, thanks for watching, guys. This guy's awesome. See you next time.